everyone. I am Aisel Dihito, and as the first reporter for Unit 2, I am excited to lead our discussion into the future of teacher education. But before we dive into the new trends, it is important that we first look back at the foundation we've built and the challenges we are still trying to overcome. To give us the proper context, let's have a quick recap of Unit 1. It's all about the perennial issues in Philippine education. Unit 1 explores long-standing problems like the debate over the medium of instruction, high dropout rates due to poverty, the need for better teacher quality, and the rising cost of education. These are the perennial because they are in a cycle existing over a long period of time. Since Unit 1 outlines the deep-seated problems that have historically hindered our progress, we now look toward the solution shaped by the modern innovation. This brings us to Unit 2, Trends in Teacher Education. But before we dive into the details, let's take a look at our roadmap. This unit is organized into 3 key lessons. Lesson 1 covers technological and technical advancement. Lesson 2 examines the political, economic, and social trends affecting teacher education. And finally, Lesson 3 explores local and global trends. Without further ado, let's proceed to Lesson 1. So in this section, we are going to explore 20 advancements that are currently transforming the way we teach and learn. So these innovations are reshaping the modern classroom and redefining the role of the educator. Now, let's take a look at the very first advancement on our list. It's collaborative learning. So let me read the definition first. Technology allows students and teachers to stay connected and solve problems together through group activities. This approach improves student engagement, interpersonal skills, and allows teachers to act more as mentors than just lecturers. So, think of a collaborative learning as turning the classroom from a solo sport into a team sport. So, in traditional learning, students often work alone and only listen to the teacher. So, with this trend, technology acts as the bridge that keeps everyone connected, allowing students to talk, share ideas, and solve problems together. This makes learning more exciting because students are active participants rather than just passive listeners. So for the teacher also, the rule shift from being a boss who just give lectures to a mentor who guides the students as they develop their skills. Now, commonly used examples for collaborative learning, we have group projects via shared digital documents like Google Docs. For example, when a teacher assigns a group of 4 students to write one research paper, so instead of needing to meet in person, all 4 students open the same digital document on their laptops or phones from their own homes. So, in this way, they can see each other typing in real time, leave comments to suggest changes, and chat within the document to decide who does which part. So this builds interpersonal skills because they have to negotiate, no, and work together to finish the project. And the second example, we have the virtual discussion boards or breakout rooms. So for example, during an online class, a teacher uses a platform like Zoom or a school portal to split the class into small, like breakout rooms to discuss a specific question for 10 minutes. So in this way, uh, these encourage students who might be shy in a large group to speak up and share their opinions in a smaller, safer setting. So it increases engagement because every student has the chance to interact and contribute to the conversation. So the second one, we have learning outside the classroom environment. So let me read the definition first. Mobile learning and e-learning enable students to study at their own pace at time. Features like offline reading, digital bookmarks, and search tools in ebooks makes learning highly flexible and accessible anywhere. So, this trends means that education is no longer trapped inside a school building or limited school hours. Thanks to learning or mobile learning and e-learning, the world becomes your classroom. Like it allows for flexibility, meaning you can study whenever you are most productive, whether that's early in the morning or late at night. So technology like ebooks also makes it easier to navigate information quickly using search tools and bookmarks. So you don't waste time flipping through hundreds of papers, right? Now, commonly used examples, we have offline educational apps like reading a downloaded ebook. For example, a student downloads a digital textbook or a module while at school where there is a Wi-Fi and then reads it later at home or while traveling in an area with no internet signal. So, this is a perfect example of offline reading capabilities. It ensures that a lack of internet connection doesn't stop a student from studying, like making learning more accessible anywhere and at any time. So, for the second example, we have the self-paced online video lessons like YouTube tutorials. So, for example, a student who finds a specific topic like algebra or history, like a very difficult lesson, they watch a recorded video lesson at home. So, unlike live lecture that happens once, the student can pause, rewind, and like replay the video as many times as they need. So, this allows them to learn at their own pace, ensuring that they fully understand the lesson before moving on to the next one. All right, so for the third one, we have social media in learning. So let me read the definition. Social platforms are now used as communication tools for sharing study materials, opinions, and a project. Incorporating social media into learning keeps students interested and builds a culture of peer to peer collaboration. So, this trend is about moving beyond using social media just for entertainment and turning it into a powerful communication and educational tool. Since most students already spend a lot of time on social platforms, teachers use this to their advantage by creating digital learning communities. So it encourages a culture of sharing where students don't just learn from a textbook but also from the diverse opinions, links, and projects shared by their classmates. So this makes the learning process feel more modern and keeps students deeply interested in their course. So now the commonly used examples we have private class groups. For example, like the Facebook groups or Discord servers. For example, a teacher creates a private invite only group specifically for their class where students can interact with both their peers and the faculty. So in this way, this group chat student can share helpful study materials, pose question about a difficult assignment, and comment on each other's ideas. So it builds a peer network where learning continues even after the school bell rings. So as students, it helps one another to understand the lesson. So the next example, we have the interactive educational content sharing. For example, the educational blogs or the shared links. So instead of a traditional essay, a teacher might ask the students to create a short video or a series of images explaining a concept and share it with their followers or a specific class hashtag. So by using social features like sharing and commenting, students can provide instant feedback on each other's project. So this enacted collaboration keeps engagement high because students are using familiar tools to express their creativity and knowledge. All right, so for the fourth one, we have interactivity in classroom. So let me read the definition. Tools like videos and augmented reality make lessons more lively than traditional printed books. Models like the flipped classroom allow students to learn theories at home and focus on practical, interactive work while in the school. So this trend focuses on transforming the classroom from a place of passive listening, which means where you just sit and hear a lecture, into a place of being active participation. So by using digital tools like videos and augmented reality, lessons become more alive and visual than old-fashioned printed books. So a major part of this is the flip classroom model, which changes the way school functions. You learn the basic theories at home and you use your valuable class time for hands on practical activities with your teacher and classmates. Now, the commonly used example, we have the flipped classroom model. For example, a teacher assigned a 10 minutes video lecture for students to watch on their tablets or phones the night before the actual class. So instead of the teacher spending the whole next day talking, that time is used for discussion and group activities, the teacher can now act as a guide to assist students with their homework or experiment in person, ensuring that everyone is completely involved in the learning process. So the second example, we have the augmented reality in lesson. So for example, during a science or history lesson, students use their mobile devices to scan a page in their ebook, which then triggers a 3D model like a moving human heart or an ancient monument to appear on their screen. So, unlike a flat image in a printed book, AR allows for more interaction. It makes the subject matter a compelling experience because a student can see and manipulate enhanced versions of object, which helps them to stay engaged and interested in the lesson proper. However, technology isn't just about what happens during the lessons. It's also about how we manage the vast of amount in information and the new ways we can gamify the learning experience to keep students coming back for more. So, to take us further into the next advancement, starting with the data management and analytics, I will now turn the floor over to our next reporter, Miss Pino. So, Miss Pino, the floor is yours.
So next is data management and analytics. So data management and analytics allow teachers to track students' progress easily. For example, using Google Classroom, teachers can see how many assignments the students submitted, their quiz scores, and missed tasks. teachers can give homework to the whole class at once and check results online. This automation helps teachers focus more on teaching and guiding students instead of manual checking. So the next is immersive learning with AR and VR. So immersive learning uses augmented reality or AR and virtual reality or VR to make lessons more engaging. For example, in science, students can view a 3D human body using AR on their phones. In history, VR can let students experience a virtual tour of ancient places. Instead of just reading or looking at pictures, students can interact with the lesson, making learning more effective. So the next is gamification in education. So gamification applies game features in learning to increase engagement. For example, teachers may use quiz games where students earn points or give badges for completing activities. Leaderboards motivate students to participate more and perform better. This makes learning fun and helps students stay active in class. So the next is online data and cybersecurity. So online data and cybersecurity focus on protecting digital information. For example, schools use password protective portals to store grades in students' records. Since data can be hacked, institutions apply security measures to protect personal information like names, emails, and test results. This ensures students' data remains safe and confidential.
Next is the personalized learning. It is an educational approach designed to align teaching methods, content, and experiences with each learner's unique needs, strengths, weaknesses, and preferences. Unlike one-size-fits-all instruction, it recognizes that learners progress at different paces. With rapid developments of artificial intelligence and data analytics, personalized learning gained significant traction in 2024. Teachers began leveraging AI algorithms to collect and analyze student data, including the performance metrics and learning preferences. The DepEd has been exploring AI-powered educational platforms to supplement in-person teaching, especially before, like addressing the learning gaps from the COVID-19 pandemic. Data analytics such as the Microsoft Excel, SPS for complex stats like the t-test in research, or the Google Form are the tools that are also being used to track student progress, helping DepEd to identify areas where targeted interventions are highly needed. However, according to Luca and Akande in 2024, challenges still remain, including the limited internet access in rural areas and the need for teacher training, especially in integrating technology into lessons. Next is the global online learning communities. These are the digital platforms that bring together the students, educators, and experts from different countries and cultural backgrounds. When learners collaborate with peers from other parts of the world, they gain first-hand exposure from the different perspectives and traditions, breaking down cultural barriers. Students can access to the variety of courses, workshops, and resources that may not be available locally. For example, the University of the Philippines and Ateneo de Manila University, in partnership with the international platforms such as the Coursera and edX, two other joint courses allow students to connect with peers globally. Further examples for Cebu universities, first is the CITU, which is through the Open Learning, followed by the Cebu Normal University, which offers collaborative online international learning, or COIL, with partners like Douglas College in Canada, followed by the University of San Carlos and Southwestern University FINMA through the Open Education, or AMA University. AMA University is a CHED-accredited online platform for Filipino and international students, providing accredited degrees and certificates digitally. Then lastly is the Cebu Technological University through BYU Pathway Worldwide. Next is blockchain for educational records. It is a digital ledger technology that stores information in blocks linked together in a chain. In education, It is a secure and changeable system that provides security for managing and storing the academic records, especially the diplomas, certificates, transcripts, or the attendance data. Once the information is stored in a blockchain, it cannot be altered or tampered, which eliminates the risk for fake credentials or manipulated transcripts. Next is the adaptive learning technologies. These are the educational tool or software that adjust the content, pace, and instructional approach in real time based on the student performances, needs, and learning patterns. One of the most widely adopted platforms in both public and private institutions is the Quipper. It offers adaptive content in K-12 such as math, science, English, Filipino, and social studies.
Hello everyone, this is Hazel and I will continue to talk about the technological and technical advancements. So here we have cloud computing and remote education. So what is really cloud computing? So in simple terms, cloud computing means accessing and storing files and programs online instead of on just one computer. So this is a big deal for education because it allows the students and the teachers to access lessons anytime, anywhere. So even if you're not at home, in a cafe, or in another city, you can still access or you can still open your school files as long as you have an internet connection. Sounds amazing, right? For example, platforms like Google Classroom and Microsoft Teams let teachers upload videos, lessons, and quizzes that students can view anytime. Students can submit homework online and teachers can check it without collecting papers. Even group work becomes easier because students can work on the same document using tools like Google Docs. So basically, cloud computing makes learning more flexible and convenient. So next, let's talk about big data and learning analytics. So every time students use online learning platforms, taking quizzes, watching videos, or submitting activities, they create data. So this data shows how they perform, what they struggle with, and how they learn. When schools analyze this information, it's called learning analytics. For example, if many students got the same question wrong in a quiz, the teacher will know that the topic might be too difficult or needs more explanation. Teachers can also see which students are falling behind and needs extra help before it's too late. So instead of guessing, teachers can now use data to make smarter decisions and improve student learning. Now let's move on to the Internet of Things or IoT. So IoT simply means connecting everyday devices to the internet so they can send and receive information. In schools, this creates smart classrooms. For example, some schools use RFID systems to automatically record students' attendance when they enter the room. Smart boards connected to the internet allow teachers to show videos, quizzes, and presentations instantly. There are even sensors that adjust lighting and temperature to make classrooms more comfortable for learning. So with IoT, schools become more effective, interactive, and student-friendly. Finally, let's talk about 5G technology. So 5G is the newest mobile internet and it's much faster and reliable than before. This means that students can attend online classes without buffering or lag. Video calls become smoother and large files can be downloaded quickly. This also allows for advanced learning tools like augmented reality and virtual reality to work better. For example, students can take virtual road trips or virtual field trips and online science experiments in real time. So with 5G, learning becomes more enjoyable, realistic, and interactive.
Now, let us down to microlearning. What is microlearning? Microlearning refers to breaking down educational content into small, manageable units. Instead of long lectures or lengthy modules, lessons are delivered in short formats such as videos, quizzes, or infographics that focus on one specific topic at a time. Now, let's say, for example, a student watching a 5-minute video on how to solve one type of math problem or answering a short quiz after a lesson is an example of microlearning. Apps like language learning platforms that teach one word or phrase per session also uses microlearning. Let's move on to social learning platforms. Social learning platforms combine education with the interactive features of social media. These platforms allow students to collaborate, share ideas, participate in discussion, and learn from one another. Let's say, for example, an online class using Google Classroom or Microsoft Teams, where students post their answers, comment on classmates' ideas, and work together on group project is an example of social learning. Students learn not only from teachers, but also from each other. This approach builds communication skills and encourages active participation. Moving on to voice assistants in chatbots in learning. Powered by artificial intelligence, voice assistants in chatbots provide students with instant access to information and academic support. They can help answer questions, assist with homework, give reminders, and even guide learners through lessons. Let's say, for example, a student asking a chatbot, "Can you explain photosynthesis?" and instantly receiving a sample explanation is one of an example of a chatbot. Voice assistants can also remind students about deadlines or help them practice pronunciation in language learning. This technology supports personalized and self-paced in learning. Lastly, we have digital twins in education. What is digital twins in education? Digital twins are virtual replicas of physical systems or environments. In education, they are especially useful in fields like engineering, architecture, healthcare, and environmental studies. Let's say, for example, engineering students using a virtual model of a bridge to test how it reacts to earthquakes or heavy load is an example of a digital twin. In environmental studies, students can simulate climate changes in a virtual city to see their effects. This allows students to learn through experience without real-world risks.
Quick question. Who decides what teachers study, how they are trained, and how they are evaluated? The correct answer is letter D. But the government has the strongest influence. True or false? When the government changes the school curriculum, teacher education programs must also change. True. Government policies set the standards for teacher education. They also decide, such as for the certification requirements, curriculum standards, teacher evaluation methods, and also funding for training programs. A real-life example for this one is when the K-12 curriculum was implemented, teachers had to undergo additional training. This was necessary so they could properly understand the new curriculum, use updated teaching strategies, and also meet the new learning standards. Who creates laws that affect teacher licensure and training? Yes, the correct answer is letter D. Legislative actions like education bills and laws can change teacher preparation programs, require more professional development, and modify licensure exams. Legislative actions refer to laws passed by the government that affect teachers. One example is CPD or Continuous Professional Development Law for license renewal. Teachers must complete a required number of CPD units to maintain their professional license, ensuring they stay updated with current teaching strategies. This law ensures that teachers continue learning, improve their skills, and remain competent in their profession throughout their career. Teachers have no voice in education policies. The answer is false. Teacher unions and professional groups speak up by asking for higher salaries, pushing for better working conditions. We have teacher organizations lobbying for higher pay. Advocacy groups negotiate with the government to increase their salaries to improve morale, retention, and the quality of teaching. When teachers groups lobby for higher salaries, their goal is to improve teachers' quality of life and motivation. This also helps retain qualified teachers in the education system, which ultimately benefits students. Political trends shape how teachers are trained, supported, and valued in society. Now, in conclusion, political trends through policies, laws, and advocacy play a vital role in strengthening teacher education and supporting teachers' professional growth. Tapaw. In conclusion, political trends through policies, laws, and advocacy play a vital role in strengthening teacher education and supporting teachers' professional growth. Thank you.
Good day, everyone. Social trends. Social trends are patterns or changes in society that influence people's behavior, values, and practices. In education, social trends affect how teachers are trained, how schools operate, and how students learn. So it strongly influences teacher education because schools are expected to respond to the changing needs of society. As communities evolve, teacher preparation programs must adapt to ensure that future educators are equipped with the skills, knowledge, and attitudes required to teach effectively in modern classrooms. These trends shape how teachers are trained, what they are taught, and how they engage with students, families, and communities. Okay, so there are three types of social trends. The first major social trend is diversity and inclusion initiatives. Okay, so today's classroom are more culturally, linguistically, and socially diverse than ever before. As a result, teacher education programs emphasize cultural competence, equity, and inclusive teaching practice. Future teachers are trained to recognize and address difference in race, ethnicity, language, socioeconomic status, gender identity, and learning abilities. This includes learning how to adapt instruction for students with disabilities, support English language learners, and create inclusive classroom environments where all students feel valued and respected. By preparing teachers to understand diversity, teacher education helps reduce bias, promote fairness, and improve educational outcomes for all learners. Another important social trend is technological integration. Rapid advancements in technology have transformed how students learn and how teachers deliver instruction. Teacher education programs now focus on developing digital literacy skills so future teachers can effectively use technology for teaching, assessment, and communication. This includes using learning management systems, educational apps, virtual classrooms, and interactive digital tools. Technology also supports differentiated instructions, allowing teachers to meet individual student needs. By integrating technology into teacher training, programs prepare educators to engage the 21st century learners and adapt to online, blended, or remote learning environments. The last one is community partnerships are also a growing social trend influencing teacher education. Schools are no longer viewed as isolated institutions, but as part of a larger community network. Teacher education programs emphasize collaboration with families, local organizations, and community stakeholders. Through field experiences, internships, and service learning projects, future teachers gain practical experience and learn the importance of community involvement in student success. These partnerships help teachers understand students' backgrounds, strengthen school community relationships, and promote holistic development. Teachers who are connected to their communities are better equipped to support students academically, socially, and emotionally. In conclusion, social trends play a crucial role in shaping teacher education by addressing diversity and inclusion, technological advancement, and community partnerships. Teacher education programs ensure that future teachers are prepared to meet the evolving demands of society. These trends help create educators who are adaptable, culturally responsive, technologically skilled, and committed to supporting students and communities in meaningful ways. So that's all for social trends.
Let's now proceed to the economic trends. The first one of the economic trends is the funding levels. So, funding levels. Economic conditions impact government budgets for education, affecting funding for teacher education programs, scholarships, and grants. Economic downturns may lead to budget cuts, while periods of growth may result in increased investment in education. So, simply put, how well the economy is doing affects how much money the government can give to education. When times are tough and the economy is down, there might be less money for things like training teachers, giving out scholarships, and providing grants. But when the economy is growing and doing well, more money can be invested to these areas. So the second one is the cost effectiveness measures. Schools and education agencies may implement cost saving measures in teacher education, such as online training programs and sharing resources among institutions, or streamlining administrative processes. So let's explain how will the cost effectiveness measures. So schools and education groups look for ways to save money while still training good teachers. So some common steps include using online classes instead in-person ones, sharing things like classrooms or teachers' materials between schools, and making office work simpler and faster to put down on cost. So maybe that's it. And the last one is the market demand for teachers. So economic trends can influence the demand for teachers in certain subjects or geographic areas. Change workforce needs, such as increased demand for STEAM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Teachers may shape teaching, education programs and recruitment efforts. So the economy also changes what kind of teachers we need and where they're needed. For example, as jobs in the fields like science, technology, engineering, and math grow, there is more demand for teachers who can teach these subjects. This pushes teacher training programs for focus on those areas and work harder to find people to become the STEM teachers. So maybe that's it, and thank you for listening, and let's now proceed to the next reporter. Thank you.
Hi, and now let's proceed to Lesson 3, Local and Global Trends. Number 1, Technology Use and Integration. Technology is no longer just a support tool in education. It actively drives how learning happens by making lessons more interactive, efficient, and accessible. Next is expansion of mobile technology. With mobile devices, learning can happen anytime and anywhere, allowing students to access educational content beyond the classroom. For example, a student using a smartphone or tablet to watch educational videos, access learning apps, and complete assignments anywhere, such as at home or while traveling. 3. Asset-based approaches to evaluation. Assessment now focuses on students' strengths and progress through portfolios, benchmarks, and global frameworks rather than relying only on exams. Like, for example, a student portfolio that showcases projects, essays, and skills over time instead of relying only on a single exam score. 4. Increased creativity. Students are encouraged to create and share knowledge, promoting critical thinking and innovation instead of simply memorizing information. 5. Global approaches to learning. Learning is becoming more collaborative across countries as students and teachers connect through shared interests and global curiosity. Like, for example, students from different countries working together online on a shared science or research project. 6. Global mobility. Teachers and students gain international exposure at a younger age, helping them understand different cultures and global perspectives. And last but not the least, borderless education. Technology removes geographical barriers, allowing learners worldwide to access education and participate in global learning communities. Like, for example, a student attending online classes from an international university without needing to travel abroad. And that's it for local and global trends.
Hello everyone. To wrap up our presentation, so I'll be discussing cultural trends. Okay, so when we talk about cultural trends, we aren't just talking about fashion or viral videos. So we're talking about the fundamental shifts in how we interact with another and how we view our roles in society and education. Okay, so first, let's look at the personalized learning. So this is all about moving away from the one size fits all model. So it's about tailoring instruction to meet every student's unique needs or interests and learning styles. So instead of everyone doing the exact same thing, so at the same time, the teacher differentiates the instruction. Like, for example, think of a classroom where and after a lesson. Okay, so some students watch a video, some work in a small group with the teacher, and others use an app, all working on the same concept, but in the way they learn best. Okay, so now let's move on to this one. We have gamification. So this is the integration of game design elements like points, leaderboards, and badge, like into non-game context like education. So the goal here is to boost engagement and motivation. So a great example is using apps like Duolingo or Kahoot, if you're familiar with that. Okay, so you aren't just studying, you're earning XP, leveling up, and competing with friends, which makes you want to keep learning. Okay, so now let's move on to this one. Moving on to a more social trend, restorative justice. So instead of just punishing someone for a mistake, this approach focuses on repairing the harm and the relationships between the offender, the victim, and the community. So it's about healing, not just getting in trouble. Like example, instead of an immediate suspension for a student who got into a fight. So a school might hold a mediation circle where both parties talk about how they felt and agree on what they make, in a way to make things right. Okay. Okay, so now let's move on to dynamic. This one. Then we have dynamic mindfulness. So we often think of mindfulness as sitting still, but dynamic mindfulness combines awareness with physical movement. It's about being fully present while your body is active. Like, for example, doing a mindful walk where you focus specifically on the sensation of your feet hitting the ground, or practicing yoga stretches while focusing deeply on your breathing to reduce stress before an exam. Okay, so now let's for this one, finally we have digital citizenship. Okay, so in our digital age, this is crucial. It refers to the responsible and ethical use of technology. It's about being a good person online, like respecting privacy and practicing proper etiquette. Okay, like for example, this includes things like fact checking information before sharing it, or standing up against cyberbullying instead of being a silent bystander. Okay. Okay, so to conclude, these cultural trends show us that our world is becoming more personalized, more interactive, and more focused on empathy and responsibility. So, as the final reporter for today, I want to thank you all for your time and attention throughout our entire presentation. We hope these topics have given you a better understanding of the changes happening in our society today. And that's all for our group. Thank you and have a great day ahead. Bye bye.